talking?
I was asking if it was.
Oh, wow, weird. Oh, wait, there you go.
There we go. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kelly.
Who's first time coming? Oh, good, wonderful. I always love first timers. It's a lot of fun. So I usually just take about 2 minutes and explain how I work as a medium. I'll probably do up and down a lot. I'm sure Jeff told you guys about my concussion and my fall. So I'm reading through it. I'm, just over 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, like 3 days,
Yeah, 3
something
days.
like that. So I'm slowly starting back to work and kind of working part-time. I probably won't go full-time until July. So we're making some shifts with my schedule. It's a little bananas. But for those of you, if this is your first time, every meeting works differently. So I usually just explain for about 2 minutes how I work before I start passing messages. It's the only thing I spend time on. And then the rest of the time is for you guys in the 2 hours or so that we have. Because I just read until they lose their energy. Because I always want to offer as much healing as I can. So before I became a medium, I actually thought about being a pastor. So everything's always done in service. Before I come into the room, ask that God's with me, ask that Jesus is with me, ask that filled with the Holy Spirit. There's certain angels that I welcome in, and then I just ask to be in love and service and offer as much healing as I can while I have you guys. But I'm also one of those mediums that believe in honoring the ancestors. So you'll watch as I move in on the messages, I'll be honoring other names I hear. Some people don't know past their grandparents or great grandparents, so that's okay. So if you hear me saying names that nobody claims, it's just me honoring them. It doesn't take a time away from the messages. My guides hold the energy. It's just me being respectful as a medium, because ancestors will actually come and give supportive energy to the people that you're hoping to hear from, okay? Be open to any loved ones that you know that are on the other side, even past the ones you guys are hoping for to hear from. If you have a neighbor who's lost a child, if you have someone you work with who just lost a parent, those messages can come through for you guys to offer further healing as well. I'm actually a master medium, a sacred channel, and an animal communicator. So when I start to talk really fast, please just know that that's when I'm in channel. And animals can come through as well. Now when animals come through, they can be your animals. They can be animals of loved ones or friends here, or they can be animals of some of your ancestors. So be open for all of that, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and start because everybody's starting to step in. My guide just said there's 194 souls present. We have 40 people. So 194 souls, that's a lot, and it's great. So I definitely have some ancestors here today, okay? 13 animals, 194 souls is what they just channeled through me, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and begin. I might do a lot of sitting because I still have some issues with my balance. I have my second physical therapy appointment tomorrow before I do a private group of like 40 tomorrow night in Delaware. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna do a lot of sitting, but I probably will stand a little bit as well, okay? So everybody's starting to line up. The very first gentleman I hear is, hi Kelly, my name is Richard. They would have called him Dick, so I just have to honor and hear him. Thank you. Were you guys not necessarily expecting him?
No.
Because you know what he just said? There's 5 other people with me. They do not expect me. They would have never thought I would come through. Do you understand? Good. James, I'm going to call him Jim. Dad for you. Good. He's here. So he just stepped in behind Richard. Richard's here. He's saying he's Dick. Is this your first time to hear from him, by the way? Oh, yeah, they have me in Fast Channel tonight. He's like, tell them I'm 19. I'm like, good for you. Only a few mediums in the world actually do soul level work. So he's like, hi, Kelly. My name is Richard. Call me Dick. There's 5 other people with me. They don't expect me. And he's acknowledging to me he's 19 years old. He's excited. Massive heart attack, cardio complications. There's a little lady, hold on a minute, not with Richard. There's a lady that just stepped in behind him. She just stepped in, I didn't catch her name. She looks like she's about 5'2", 5'3". Complications with diabetes, cardio issues, problems with circulatory issues and neuropathy. She would have been bedridden in the end. She was put in a facility, but she passed with a massive heart attack. She's just one of the ancestors supporting him. So I'm going to let you know she's supporting her little ones coming through, okay? So we're going to hear from him in a couple minutes, but I felt her shift in, and she just completely took over my heart. And I'm like, I see you. So we'll get to her, okay? Your dad, James, is so loud in my ear. So I think I'm going to piggyback the 2 of them first, because he's like, Kelly, she always expects me to come through, so here I am. Catherine, if anybody recognizes Catherine, I hear Catherine as well. She's been gone some time too, just between 10 to 20 years, and she feels like an aunt. Aunt Catherine, mom's side of the family, 3 generations back, great Aunt Catherine, gone just between 10 and 20 years, so she's one of my ancestors. Now I'm starting with your dad first. I'm probably going to start piggybacking Richard because they said that they were the first two in. I'm honoring Catherine and I'm honoring that lady that's back there through your ancestry behind Richard, okay? So we'll take our time with this. Dorothy. Okay. She said, call me Dot. Okay, let's take our time. Interesting that you guys sat where you did. If there's 3 dots here, so I might get some piggybacking with that, or at least 1 or 2 will come through, okay? There's one that's a grandmother, by the way. Grandmother. Perfect, good. Because she's like, I'm her grandmother. So if you're the youngest in the family across the line, that's why I hear her saying grandma. So we'll wait for that, okay? So it just means she's one of your angels, honey. So it's your first chance to hear from her as well. Good. She's like, it's my first time too. Good. So she's one of those other people behind Richard, even though you guys don't recognize that small lady that I'm seeing. But she's like, my name is Dot. Call me Dorothy. You can call me Dorothy Kelly because it was my proper name, but I prefer Dot. She's telling me she's 23. I said, good for you. She's talking about the jewelry. Okay, good, because she's like, I'm happy she kept the jewelry, and that's all I hear. So if you're the soul, it makes sense why she's telling me that she's your grandmother. Okay, so I was going to start with James and Richard, but I just heard James say, go ahead and take her first because we're going to be gentlemen. And I'm like, okay. So we're going to do that because she's just behind Richard, so I'm going to get some piggybacking with him as well. And I might catch those other people back there. And I know you don't recognize the shorter lady that's about 5'2" or 5'3", and that's okay because she's just an older ancestor. She wanted to tell me she was here. So I have to honor her, okay? And Richard's a little bit unexpected, but Dot's really excited about talking to you guys. Now, is she a mother energy for you?
Richard is our stepfather.
Perfect, good.
Dorothy is my
She's my
husband's
great grandmother.
Perfect, good, because I kept hearing grandmother, and she comes through as a mother energy, so that's why her grandmother.
She raised
Perfect.
my husband. She was
Thank
his
you.
father.
There you go. Doesn't always have to be biological line, honey. So she's saying mother to me, even though the biological line for you guys connects to aunt and then grandmother to her, makes complete sense why I keep hearing her say mom. Because it just means there's messages for you guys to pass to people here that are missing her, where she would be a mom and grandmother energy. A lot of times when they come through and I feel more of a maternal energy, it's not about being a biological mom, because anybody can, whether it's a mom, whether it's a stepmother, whether it's a foster mom. I read a lady not that long ago where her mom came through, but she was a foster mom. But she had the strongest connection with her and the strongest mother bond with her than anybody else. And so I feel when she says mom to me, I want to look at you. Because if she was a mom to your husband, even though she's more of an aunt energy, but she stepped in to help to raise him, and she stepped in as a mom, even though the biological line is aunt, I'm going to feel the soul connection. Do you understand it? So I love that she's making me feel that, because that's actually stronger validation than her just saying, can't call me Aunt Dot, but she's my granddaughter. Because she stepped in as that mom when she didn't have to, is what they're saying to me. But she said, I would have done it all over again. Do you understand it? And that really meant a lot to her, and she was really happy for that bonding. And she's saying to me it's one of the best choices she ever made when she was here. And so they know not only how thankful he has been through his life, but how thankful you guys were as well. Now, she's a big guardian for you. So that's why I heard her say grandmother first, and then she's like, talk about her having my jewelry. So if you got all her jewelry and you're the one that it got passed on, there's a connection with May 16th, there's an exact date of September 11th, and then there's a birthday coming in June. Now, when I go into really fast channel like that, and they're channeling dates to me, it's birth dates or anniversaries here, or soul dates, birth dates and anniversary dates, passing dates of ancestors with them. So one of them actually belongs to September 11th, belongs to that lady that looks about 5'2" that was telling me it was a massive heart attack and there's cardio complications and diabetes. Because I know you guys don't know all the ancestry. Now, were you even thinking about tracing the ancestry though? Yeah, but she just put, perfect. She just put her hand on your shoulder and she goes, tell her I'm one of the people that's going to help her because she's thinking about tracing the ancestry. So they know that's on your heart. That actually means a lot to them because they're happy you're going to have a chance to learn about that legacy, and you're going to have a chance to learn a little bit more about the people you didn't have a chance to connect with here. Or even if you only had a short few years with them or you were very young when they passed, they always want you to have a chance to know a little bit more about their lives as well. Do you understand that? I love that. Watch for dragonflies from your grandmother, honey. Do you understand the dragonflies? Good. She's like, they know. Good. So she's validating that. So she knows you guys are saying that. Usually dragonflies are a sign of change, so it just means there's some big changes coming for you. She's also talking about, wait a minute, ooh, I got a little dizzy. The change, because I'm channeling so fast. The change of jobs. Oh, I'm looking at you. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time right now
Okay.
making a change in work.
They know. They know. She's like, I came to talk about the change. And she's like, talk about changing jobs. And I said, I hear you. So she knows it's really heavy on your heart and mind right now. And she knows you're in the process of making that decision. Because they're saying to me, you're not feeling rewarded anymore. I feel like you're overwhelmed. But you've been doing it so long, it's a security blanket for you. So if you choose to step out, please know that they're going to guide your path and that it's going to be okay. And they're saying to me, it's okay for you to let go because it's holding you back.
Oh my God.
Do you understand it?
Completely. I bought my father-in-law's picture, her son, and I asked for him to help me, guide me tonight to make that choice, that decision, to make that change.
Yeah, that's why they did it, honey. It's okay that it's coming from the whole gang behind her and Richard, but I'm hearing it from Dot, and that's okay. And a lot of that's too because she's her number one angel and number one guardian.
She's got her name.
Perfect. Makes complete sense to me. I also see a bunch of angel wings behind her, and usually when I see this type of angel wing that she's showing me, it means she's a stronghold guardian for you, honey, so she watches over your safety, health, and well-being. So it just means she's guiding your path, so she's a directional guardian for you. So it just means she's always 2 steps in front as you're making decisions as well. They know how difficult that decision is for you. And I'm being told you shouldn't take it lightly. I don't feel like you're making the decision now, but they need to let you know that they're by your side and they're moving through the process of that with you. And that you're not alone in the decisions you're making. And a lot of people will watch for signs from loved ones, but a lot of people don't even realize you can ask them for signs. Not send me a sign, meaning you can actually choose a sign.
I asked last night, I was lying in my bed, and I said, please give me a sign.
See? So they're bringing this up for a reason, because they're like, we have to talk about signs next to her, and I just went right into what they're trying to channel, okay? So this is what I'll say to you, honey. Sometimes we're asking for a sign and then we feel it with our heart, right? And we just kind of know in our gut that it's them and they're saying, hey, I'm here, I'm helping you. You guys can also say, I need help with this. You can actually choose the sign you want them to send you. Many people don't know that. There always needs to be an open line of communication with spirit, because the more you talk to them and the more open you are, the stronger your connections become. So instead of waiting for signs sometimes, you can say, if you're helping me send a cardinal, if you're helping me send a penny. But you also have to trust the timing, that if it doesn't happen right away, that you have to remember they're always serving in God's timing. And they'll give it when it's most needed, but they're always honoring God first. Do you understand it? Because then I'll have loved ones who will come to me and be like, I haven't seen a sign and they've been gone a year. Doesn't mean they're not sending signs. Sometimes people just aren't as open. Sometimes they might be looking for signs that they would expect, not ones that are sent in love and service. Do you understand it? Good. So just honor it, honey, okay? I've had people who have had experiences where they've been waiting for signs for their loved ones to show that they're supporting them before they make important decisions, and they never saw it. And then they'll come to me and I'll be like, they did. And then they'll tell me sometimes the exact day, or they'll actually show me what happened and they completely missed it. Or they'll be like, I didn't realize that was it. Or sometimes it can work where it wasn't in God's timing. And even though they made the choice and it was the right decision, they were guided the whole time. They didn't need the sign. And then they'll see it after the decision's made. So it works many ways. So I have to remind you of that, and it's something that they really want me to tell you. And this is a big part of your message today, because they're trying to give you a little bit of comfort through the process, because it's a big decision and it's going to completely flip and change your life in many ways. Do you understand it? But all of it's for the good, honey, and you just have to trust and honor it. That's what matters. That's what matters. Okay, good. She's like, thank you, Kelly, for helping me. She's so sweet. I just felt pregnant belly too, so you guys are getting a new addition soon.
Ah,
Jerry.
Okay, just means there's a soul on the other side. It doesn't always have to be direct bloodline down. That can get into cousins and cousins' children. They're just acknowledging to me they know that there's a new soul coming,
okay.
and it just means within the next 3 years when they tell me that. Now, if somebody's pregnant, they'll tell me how many months in the person's name. I just keep hearing there's a soul on the other side waiting, and there's going to be a new addition soon. So that's exciting news for you guys. It is something they're already seeing that God's going to get the family, so that's really wonderful. There's also acknowledgement of the 27th. There's connection with the month of May. I see 27.
I just turned 27.
Happy 27th birthday. Thank you. And also, since we just started into the month of May, they're also sending me balloons, so they're trying to give a happy birthday or anniversary, so I only caught the balloons. So I saw her give the 27th because that's your birthday, so know that she's acknowledging happy 27th birthday, because that could be date or year, so it's okay if she's calling out your age. No big deal, right? It's also her acknowledgement to me kind of where you are in your life and your age and how she's guiding because of her being a directional guardian. Do you understand that? That's number one. But then I just saw all these balloons. I actually saw 48. So some of you just turned 48, is about to turn 48, or there's a 48th anniversary, okay? So when they said this month and I got the wish for May, I heard the number 48. They just showed me 48 blue and white balloons. So there's a 48th birthday or anniversary. So I'll leave that with you guys as well, because they're trying to give well wishes to other people in the family, is what I hear. But she's really just coming through to let you know that she's the angel you should be connecting with the most right now, as far as guidance, and a little bit of comfort for that important decision for you. Now, she may not be your only one, so she's going to step out in a minute. So let me see what else I can catch from her really quick, because I might end up catching Richard and a couple other people. And then James is already shouting stuff to me. Was he impatient when he was here, honey? Yeah. You know what he just said? I'm really working on my patience here, Kelly, as much as I can. So he's telling me. But they know I can hear 2 or 3 people at once because I can watch and listen and channel at the same time. So a lot of times I'm doing double and triple duty, and that's okay. So he's super excited. So we'll get to him in just a minute, okay? Thank you, Kelly, so much. It really means a lot to me to be able to have a chance to give her a little bit of peace. There's so many decisions that she's in the process of making, and we wanted her to know she's not alone. I have to take a breath. So that's Dot actually connecting with me, and I let her take over just to do that couple seconds of channel, okay? So that's what channel is. So she wants to make sure that you remember those words that she just said, and that they're behind you in the process, and that you're not going to make a wrong decision in this, is what I hear. There's never any wrong decisions. We just have life lessons, right? So just know that you're supported, and they're trying to take some of that anxiousness and anxiety away, because it's such a big choice for you. She's blowing kisses. There she goes. She's so sweet. I was hoping to talk to her more, but she's saving time for Richard or anybody else back there, then I might get to him in a little bit. Now, before I move to James, I also hear there's a gentleman that just came and stood beside me, and he's like, "Hi, Holly, I'm Donald." And I want to call him Don. So I'm just going to honor he's here. He feels, thank you, he's an aqua energy. He's like, I'm Uncle Don. Now, he's dad's side of the family. He's a few generations back. I'm just going to honor and feel him, because I have some ancestors shifting in as Dot shifts out. So as I catch them, as I move in and on messages, I'm just going to honor he's here. Dad's side of the family, Uncle Don. His proper name is Donald. He's been passed for some time. Well over 30 years is what they're saying to me. So I just have to honor he's here. All right, I'm coming back to your dad. He's so excited. He just put both his hands on your shoulders. Good, perfect. Have you been feeling him a lot lately though, honey? You know what you just said to me? She had it in her heart that I was going to come through. And she kept talking to me in the car on the way here because she knew I was going to talk to her, because she's been feeling me for the past 3 days. He just told me the past 3 days. He just told me how long you've been feeling him. I love that validation. Good. That's really great. So we're going to take our time. Now there's also Mary. Maybe recognizes Mary. She's trying to piggyback off her dad, James. She feels like a grandmother to me. Grandmother, mom's side. Now, when I get grandmother energy, it could be grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. I just have to honor that I feel her. I'm being told she should be claimed. Mom's side of the family, Thank you. They made me look over here because I
I have a
watched her
Mary
walk to the back. Thank you. Okay, so we'll get there. Because remember, it doesn't have to be grandmother 2 generations up. I just feel the grandmother presence, and they'll step in and tell me where they are in the genealogy. Once it's her turn, I just hear mom's side, grandmother Mary, and grandmother energy. So we'll get to that in a couple minutes, okay? So there's some messages from her for the family as well. So she'll be one of the people come through in a little bit. There's also an acknowledgement of Joseph. Hi, Kelly and Joseph. Call me Joe. Okay, good. So we'll take our time with him. See your person you came to hear from? Because he's like, I'm the number one for them. Do you understand? Good. So we'll take our time. There's a young male under 40 passing of heroin overdose.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's take our time. He just stepped in behind Joseph, so they're just lining up. Now, I'm not done with your dad. I'm going to start with him. Mary just stepped in. Young male under 40, heroin overdose. He hasn't been gone very long either. Less than 5 years, honey? Good. This my guide's back there standing behind him going less than 5 years, Kelly, heroin overdose. There's also, oh my gosh, he's so excited about talking. So we'll take our time. So Joseph actually just came and stood in that seat beside you. He just sat down beside you. So we'll get to him in a couple minutes because they're saying to me he's your big person. Then I have this young male. He's standing behind that grandmother that goes to the line behind them, Mary. Thank you.
That's my grandmother.
So that's how I know. Now your Marys might actually communicate together, but part of the reason why they wanted to take me into Mary, the grandmother energy, is it because it's her grandmother Mary helping him come through. Because he's been gone a very short time, under 5 years, and then I can feel the heroin. Now I've never done drugs in my life. I barely drink wine, but they'll make me feel certain things, or I'll see sick pictures, or they'll actually put me through certain experiences, and I can hear him saying heroin, and I can feel the addiction. Actually, he struggled for many years. Do you understand it? Your dad's helping him come through, because you've had many messages from him is what I hear, and I'm still going to get some from him, but we're going to do the back and forth between the two of them, and it's part of the reason why I'm catching Mary. And so her message is to the family is that you need to know, Mary's been past some time, around 20 years or over, honey, good. So when they put me to 20 years and over, I know it's longevity, so I know it's well over that part, okay? She was one of 3 people there to greet him. She's the first person he saw. So part of the reason why she's stepping in is because she's trying to let you know that she was there for him. Do you understand it? He's talking about keeping the clothes, turning them into the blankets and pillows. I'm seeing the releasing of the balloons and the messages. Do you understand it?
Yes.
He's talking about the tattoos being given. I also hear him mentioning Jacob. I hear him mentioning Scott. And I just heard him say David. Now, he's trying to reach out to friends, and I know you don't know all his friends, but he's like, I have some people to talk to. And here, Jacob and Scott are actually 2 people that are struggling with the same type of heroin addiction that he struggled with. So these are 2 people he's watching over, and I hear one is shy of just shy of 4 months being clean. So, and I know you don't know that group of friends, but
I'll find out.
Do you understand it? Good. So, and sometimes when there's the struggle with addiction, sometimes not everybody goes through it alone. And a lot of times we'll know more of the healthier friends in their life. Do you understand it? Good. So he just keeps saying to me, she doesn't know all my friends, but I'm watching over Jake and Scott. But I heard him say Jacob, so I'm just going to honor it, okay? He's so excited. There's a connection with the number 25. He said, say 25, it's important. Oh, May 25th, thank you. Somebody actually has a birthday this month, May 25th. And I love that you're recording, and I welcome that. Especially when they're giving dates and names. If you guys don't recognize it, somebody else will claim it. But he just said happy birthday. I saw him write a 25. My guy just stepped in, and I heard them give May 25th. So there's an important validation for that, okay? He's talking about the jewelry and honor. To understand it. And carrying the pictures, and then listening to his voice on the recorder on the phone. So somebody still has his voice saved, and I hear it's been listened to often. Do you understand it? Good, perfect. There's also validation of John. He keeps mentioning Johnny. Okay, I'm going to honor that as well, because there's people who's watching over. He's talking about, I tell them I love the poster board pictures. Do you understand that? Good, perfect. He's validating about that. He said it's okay to continue to clean out the room. Do you understand that piece? Good. So he's validating about that. And then he's talking to me about the planting of the tree, or the honoring of the tree in his memory. He's like, talk about the tree, Kelly, and I said, I hear you, honey. So if it hasn't been done, Somebody's been thinking about doing that, whether friends or family. Do you understand? Okay. So he's acknowledging. He also messes with the electricity, by the way. He's like, let her know I've been blinking the lights. Do you understand?
Yes.
That? Okay. So he's validating that. Because he's like, I'm in the house all the time. I'm blinking the lights to try to get their attention. And I said, I hear you. There's a connection with them at the march. He's like, say march.
Mm-hmm.
Good, because it just passed. And I feel it's a soul honoring date. Do you understand it? Good. So he knows that he's being honored then. There's also a connection with April 13th. It's an exact date. That also just recently passed. So I think he's given some other birthday wishes, but he wanted to give me the soul date for March because I hear that that's important, okay? I also feel the thumbprint. Good. Did you put the thumbprint on the jewelry?
I have his necklace right here.
There you go. Perfect. Is when he was talking about the jewelry and he said about the jewelry done in honor, it's his acknowledgement to me about the thumbprint being on the necklace and that you guys did that in honor. He's also talking about his hair being kept. Do you understand it? He's like, they cut my hair after I passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people do that. It's rare. So he's validating about that. He's also talking about the photos going from color to black and white in color. In honor. He loved that. And then there's something about the reference of putting the photo albums in order and making copies for everybody.
Oh my God.
He knows about that. He's like, I know everything. He's funny. But here's what it is, and this is why he's like so overwhelming me with everything that you guys did in celebration of his life, because he wants you to know that he sees the way you guys are celebrating him. That's the most important thing, okay? Matt, I hear Matt.
Oh my God.
He's like, say Matt.
It's it.
Were you waiting for him to say that? Okay, just ask him. How do you connect with that, honey?
It's his name.
Good. Because he's like, I have to say that so she knows it's me. That usually means name or the number one person he's watching over, or could get into siblings or best friends. So I have to honor that. There's also a connection with the number 31. He said, Kelly, say 31. Oh, hold on a minute. October 31st. Oh, somebody has a birthday on Halloween. You just passed me pumpkins. All right, I'm going to leave that be. But was his proper name Matthew, honey, but you called him Matt? Good, perfect. And some people call him Maddie. Okay, because I only heard him say Matt. He's like, yes, Kelly, I was giving you my name. My proper name was Matthew. Some people call me Matt. Some people call me Maddie. He said it's okay to sell the car or something about selling the car off.
Motorcycle?
Yeah. Yep, there's something with the vehicle, too. All right, who's having the engine issues with the vehicle and they're thinking about getting a safer one?
I don't know. I'll have to check with my brother.
Please ask about that.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't know if that is someone in the family or friend, but he's like, it's okay to sell the vehicle. So as soon as you mentioned motorcycle, I asked him here, I said, this is what you're referring to. And he goes, no, my buddy. Oh, so it's a friend. So somebody's been having engine issues. Actually, there was a warning that it could possibly catch on fire. And it's time to get rid of it. So he's actually stepping in to kind of give some safety with that. And I see the caution sign, so this is a cautionary thing. So he wants to make sure he's able to pass that. He's doing wonderful.
Oh my God.
Good. He is so excited about telling you guys he's okay. You know what he's saying to me though? Through the addiction, he does make me feel that he hid a lot of things because of how much he was struggling to understand it. And even though I feel heroin, that's usually either drug of choice, how the overdose happens. Sometimes it can be both. But I do feel like there's a mix of other experimental drugs and other things.
It was fentanyl.
Do you understand it? Other things he chose to do. But I know heroin's not the only choice. And sometimes it's not about the drug that took their life. Sometimes it's just about the one that they got either addicted to in the beginning or they used the most throughout that period of addiction. So that's why I could feel it. So it makes complete sense why he wanted to make sure that he was able to give me more about that validation. Because he's saying to me, it's not the only drug that I chose. And I said, I hear you, honey. So he wants to make sure you guys are okay. He sends feathers. And he leaves them outside everybody's doors and in strange places. So pay attention to that. He also sends pennies, is what I hear. He sends pennies all the time. So they're the two big signs for the family the most. He's also taken me to the ocean, and he's talking about the celebration of life by the ocean. He's like, I was with everybody in spirit when they celebrated me that day. And it was the best thing they could have done in honor of me. Do you understand it? And I feel like I'm tossing ashes. So, hold on a minute. There's another male with him. Hold on. Because he's talking about the celebration of life by the ocean. There's another friend with him. Passed 2 years before he did. Same type of overdose. They knew each other, but they weren't close friends. And his family, there was actually cremation. Somebody has an actual portrait of him where it looks just like him in black and white, and they threw his ashes into the ocean. There's a 2-year difference between their passings. I can just feel him shift in. So as he's taken to the ocean and he says, tell them I was there for the celebration of my life, and I was with them in spirit, and I saw everything they did in my honor, I can feel this other young male shift in and behind him. They were only 1.5 years apart, but he passed 2 years before Matt. So if you have a chance to figure it out, it's in that same group of,
Associates.
yes, yeah, some of the other people that were struggling with the addiction. And he's actually bald, or the hair's cut like really, really thin. There's a complete sleeve down his left arm, and then there's just a couple tattoos here. And I see him in a black t-shirt and jeans. So I just saw exactly what he looks like. Now he's not going to take away from Matt, okay? But they knew each other.
Okay.
So his family, there was actually a cremation, and somebody actually sent his ashes into the ocean. So he's like, Kelly, I was celebrated by the ocean as well. And they wanted to make sure I was able to catch him. Because somebody that knows Matt may actually recognize who that young boy is, and it'll give peace to the family that he's seen the way they're celebrating him without taking away from Matt's message. Did you ask him to come through today so you could give peace to the family?
Yes.
Yeah. As he said, I was trying to keep my promise because she's been asking me to come through just so she can let everybody know that I'm okay. And then when they're open and ready to this, it's a process. Not everybody is open to it. But when and if they're open and ready to it, I know there will be more messages from him
Thank
for the
you.
rest of the family, which is wonderful. He loves that his hair was kept though, because again, that's so rare to keep that piece of DNA. So that really means a lot to him. And I keep feeling like there needs to be more done with the clothes besides blankets. So if you guys make pillows or however you guys kind of spread that out, it just means he wants you guys to think about a little bit more than just blankets. But he's happy for all the copies of the thumbprint necklaces because he's like, so many people got them, Kelly. So he's really happy for how you guys are sharing that and sharing that piece of him for everybody to have that memory, and so they can carry that with them as well. He's like, thank you, Kelly. Tell everybody I love them. There it goes. And I keep hearing I love you to the moon and back. So there's a connection with that as well. So if you guys honored him with that. He's also talking about the CDs of music that were made in his honor. Okay, yeah, he's still talking to me as he steps out. He's still passing messages. I could probably talk to him for another hour and it would get like 100 times stronger.
That's him. That's Matt.
You understand it? But you know what? When I do groups like this, they just try to be as loving and courteous as possible. And he's stepping out to make sure I can catch James, because James helped to bring him through, which is really wonderful. And they'll do that. They'll offer what they can as far as highest healing for the group as a whole. And since James has come through in communication, I'm going to catch just a couple things for his daughter from him. And then they helped him come through, because there's so much healing that needs to be offered because of how young he was. And because even though he struggled with the addiction, and they're telling me people did worry that they will lose him that way, I do feel like the passing was still unexpected.
Very much so.
Understand it? Good.